So this system we've installed is called a low board system. It's more for existing houses where you can't dig down, as in the original underfloor. So this board here is about 3/4 of an inch thick. So as long as you've got enough space and gap on the threshold of the doors, you can lay this straight on top. And that's what we've done here, and then just run the pipes in. Now the main benefit for underfloor heating is you don't have to worry about radiators on the walls. So all your wall space is instantly cleared. You haven't got to think, we've got to put a radiator here and need one at the other end. You've got all of the walls cleared. The other thing is this generally runs at about half the temperature. You won't see this output more than about 40, 45 degrees, whereas radiators are obviously double that, they're 90, 95. So your bills are going to be a lot less. And as I say, the important thing is it frees up all your wall space for furniture, sofas, kitchen units, and you haven't got to worry about where the radiators are going to go. So we've now finished the kitchen. We've got the underfloor heating running throughout. It's actually prompted the customer to decide to do the whole ground floor. So we've taken out all the existing radiators, and now we're going to show you how to lay the new underfloor heating across the ground floor. So the first stage is get everything out of all the rooms. You can't leave bits in corners, you've got to pull the whole lot up in one go. Once the rooms are empty, pull up existing floor if it's carpet or wooden floor, parquet flooring. It's all got to come up, including the underlay, to take you back down to the original subfloor. So in this house, we've had parquet flooring running pretty much across the ground floor. We've taken it up just to create the same level throughout to tie in with the extension. But if you've got the height, you can lay on top as long as it's a sturdy base underneath the underfloor heating boards. So once we've got everything up, the room's clear. It's worth putting a level down to see how good or bad the floor is. You ideally want it fairly level because these boards are fairly solid, so they're not going to give much. If it is really bad, you can run over a self-leveling compound just to bring up any low spots or take down any high spots. And then once that's done, if you've got the dust, I would say just run a coat of PVA over, because when you stick the boards, you don't want any dust stopping the boards gripping to the floor. When it comes to laying the underfloor heating boards, this is actually the easy bit. It is simply glue out of a nozzle, squeeze it on the back of a board, and then lay it. Also with these, it's important, this has got a groove in it, so you can run it along the edge of the board, which will then fix, you can see here, to join the boards together, stop them splitting up. The hardest thing to work out is you've got flow and return pipes to get back to a manifold. So you've got to work out, in this case, we've got a manifold in another room, so we've got to make sure not only are we running these pipes in here, but we've got to get the two pipes back to the manifold afterwards. So this is one of the many boards that we're going to use. They're actually a recycled paper and cardboard with cement, so they're quite environmentally friendly. The easiest way to fix them on a solid floor is literally spin them over, and then with the glue, if you just put a couple of dabs in each corner to stop it moving, and then to stop them separating, if you just run this along the edge, like that, and it's then you drop it in and use your weight to squash it down. Any residue glue, it is worth scraping off, because when this dries, it dries solid. So you can either use your finger or a bit of cardboard just to take that height off, because when it dries, it is absolutely solid. So you've got the sides stuck down as well as each corner and the middle, and then that's ready for the next one to go on. So once all the boards are fixed and the glue's gone off, we've now got to get the pipe in the grooves and then back to the manifold. This is just an offcut, but these rolls come in up to 80-metre lengths generally. The key thing is you're not allowed to join under the floor. So if you've got a bigger area, you often need more than one roll. So if you've got an area that needs two of these, you've got four ends that have got to get back to the manifold. So once you've brought it round, as I say, this is just an offcut, but it's very straightforward. You just walk behind it and just tread it into the gaps until you come back on yourself, and then just keep going until that final run's done. So at the edge of each board, usually in the corner of a room, you've got to put these black preform bits of plastic down. That's to put the pipe into to return back on yourself. Without these, they don't sit very well, and you can see they move all over the place. So with these are stuck down, and again, you just push it in and that starts your next run off to go back up, and you do exactly the same on the end of each row until you get the pipe back to the manifold. So this is the manifold, which is basically the engine that runs all the underfloor heating. This is split into two, so we've got a 6-port and a 5-port. And what this bottom one here is, this is where the water goes from. So there's a pipe here, you can see labelled bathroom. So the flow here, that runs out into the bathroom, it sits in the boards, then it comes back up as the return, and then that comes back into here on the manifold. The main thing to think about when installing the manifold is the location. So you don't want it all the way at the end of the house, for example, because you've got to get all the pipes from the front, if you're doing the whole floor, all the way to the end. So in this example, it's kind of in the middle of the house. This was the old boiler cupboard. The cylinder is in here. So with the underfloor heating, that's gone. We've got a new boiler system in the utility. So this is a good place to put the manifold with the pipes running to the back of the house and the front of the house, as well as a bit over there, without having to go too far to get them back to the manifold. So this is an example of one that we've already laid. You can see all the boards are down. We've got the plastic end caps on to run the pipes in and return them back on themselves. The hot water runs through here, which obviously then gives off the heat. And then simple as underlay on top of this, and then wooden floor finished, skirting's on top, and that's the room finished.